From the moment that I saw you till I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? It is Saturday, the 11th. I want to say good morning to everybody. I hope everybody's having a fabulous morning and getting ready to have an even much more fabulous day. Now, this morning we are going to be continuing. Whoa, 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 whoa. We are going to be continuing with the reading of the book of Jeremiah. We started reading the book of Jeremiah a few days ago, and the book of Jeremiah has proven itself to be extremely interesting, very, very interesting. And so we are continuing to read it, and some people call it confusion. I do not. I agree with them. Let's just say that the not just the book of Jeremiah, but the Bible in of itself, to be honest with you guys, the Bible in of itself does provide us with a lot of unanswered questions. Um, a lot of what some people want to call disturbing truths. I don't know about the truth part, say like disturbing truth. I'm not sure about that, but because the veracity, the veracity of a lot of its content is rather concerning. One person says one thing, somebody else says something else, and you are left wondering. You as the reader is left wondering what was really true. And I know some people say, well, go do some research. Now, there's nobody alive who was around back then. So all we have to go by is the literature. And all the literature seem to be saying the same thing. All the literature seems to be saying the same thing. Everybody wants to be believed. That is something that is pervasive amongst humans, not just now, but forever. Everybody wants to be believed. When Moses came out and said he was chosen by God to lead the people, and he established all these laws among them in an effort to create a society, to create order in their society, to present laws that would guide the people, that would monitor the way the people live, the things that they were allowed to do, the things they were not allowed to do, that was going to create their pure, and I put that in quotation, their pure society. He said God sent him. God told him all these things to tell the people. And when the people would question him, he went behind the burning bush. He would go to say he went to consult God and what to say to them, what to do. And whatever he did, the people all believed him. Say, well, yeah, I mean, Moses said God told him that, and so we're gonna believe him and we're gonna do as Moses said. In the latter years, Moses started to lose his credibility, but people couldn't say it. Just like even now, People are deathly afraid of questioning the things they have read in the Bible. They are deathly afraid. They don't want to question it because they're so afraid of some kind of blasphemy. They're so afraid of some kind of imaginary hell. They're so afraid that they will read a Nora Roberts novel and they will question that because, oh well. But they'll read the Bible and they won't ask any questions. They'll just take everything that is in there, even though the Bible, just like a Nora Roberts novel, was written by ordinary men. People documenting their experiences over time, and others collecting all this literature, putting it together and calling it the Bible, the blueprint, they say, for our lives. But if you read the Bible yourself, Sister Winsome, how are you doing, my love? Good morning to you. Believe you me, my dear sister, some of it cannot be true. But the thing, a lot of it is not true. You know, everybody wants to present themselves as the chosen person. Moses said he was chosen, Samuel was chosen, David was chosen. All these people were chosen. Now Jeremiah has considered himself to be chosen as well. But listen to the things that Jeremiah says in his book, in his writings. Listen to the things Jeremiah says. Jeremiah is basically trying to discredit the forefathers, to discredit whatever they have said, so that the people would more believe him and follow him, just like a politician. Yeah, the current politician will tell you that the politician before was no good, or the politician he's running against is no good, didn't do X, didn't do Y, didn't do Z. That's what politicians do. And I am getting this feeling that politics and a desire to be considered above, different, revered, respected, all these things, that desire is what is leading these men that everybody is claiming that they have had an encounter with God. They have, God told them this, God told them that. How comes that only them God talk to? How comes? Why would it be that one ordinary man, I know some of you going to say they weren't ordinary men. Yes, they were just ordinary men. One man can say, oh, I went and I consulted God to destroy you, and he's going to destroy you on my behalf. So what? You can't talk to God too. If he's willing to destroy people on my behalf, why wouldn't he destroy me on their behalf as well? Like, I mean, I am thinking out in the open, you know, and I know I'm used to people criticizing the things I think, but you all know by now that I really don't sway. I don't care whether or not they criticize my thoughts when I put them out there in the atmosphere. That's fine. That could be room for growth. It could be room for change. So take it and do whatever you will with it. But I beseech you, I say, I have a question. What's your creation story? Stepping Razor. You see that creation story? I'm not going to enter into it this morning because that creation story is such a story. It is such a story as it was presented, as it has been presented to us in the Bible with so many questions that I don't believe it happened the way the Bible presents it. I don't believe it happened that way. I don't think so. Because if I listen to the Bible, I'm not going to go off track. But if I should believe what the Bible says, that God created a man and a woman and put them in the garden and they were the two first people, it leaves me with a lot of question. Because in Genesis it says Adam and Eve had many sons and daughters. Cain killed his brother Abel, and Cain went off to marry somebody in another land. So I've asked that question. That question, it seems to have no answer. It has just fallen in the air. Like, where the people them came from, where Cain went to find a wife and marry. I mean, I know. That, like many other questions I've had, have remained floating around with no answer. So I leave that part of it. I leave that part of it alone. Okay? Yeah. Because when the math ain't mathing, you gotta ask questions. You understand? I know that that's not the only creation story, but that's the one I was taught. All right? Everybody can have a creation story. You know what's my creation story? A woman get a man and the two of them create another human. That is the creation story. Get the seed of a plant and plant it, and you get another fruit tree. Yeah? Graft a tree and you get another one. That's the creation story. If you have another one, let me know. All right, let us continue, guys. We are on to the book of Jeremiah. We're going to read Jeremiah chapter 21 through to 23 today. Thanks to everybody who has come into the live. I sincerely appreciate you. Now, before I go any further, let me preface with this. I do not endorse any particular religion. I do not endorse any particular denomination. All right? No religion, no denomination over here. I do not. All right? Because me not like confusion. I don't like confusion. And the people who are hell-bent on supporting a religion or a denomination, they themselves can't even agree. They are using the same Bible, yet there are so many denominations and so many religions. So therefore, how you expect me, if you all can't figure out which of you is right, how you expect me to support any of you? I'm not going to be a part of that confusion. But anyway, let us continue. Jeremiah chapter 21. Now, yesterday we read where Jeremiah was praying for the people, asking God to deliver them, even though God now this is Jeremiah writing. He said God I've told him, Stepper said, me think that one people is chosen over another. You know, that is a great question, Stepper. If I think, it wouldn't even matter what I think. It wouldn't even matter what I think if one group of people is chosen over another. We know the pervasive thought that everybody wants to be considered the best. Everybody wants to be considered the chosen. Just like how in religion, people want to say, oh, if you are Catholic and if you are an Adventist, or if you, everybody wants to say their religion is right and their religion is the best, and this is their brand of religion, and it is supposed to be the one that everybody aligns with. Everybody wants to do that. So like, everybody, all I can say, everybody just hold on a space. Everybody hold their own space, do what they want to do, and keep on doing. I mean, because there is never going, it's not like a math question, and the teacher throws it out and see who gets the correct answer first. And you say, okay, Mary, you got the correct answer and you came up with it in 2 minutes while everybody's still working on it. It's not like that. So I can't deal with that. This religious confusion. I can't deal with it. No. I'm going to excuse myself from that part of life where people worry about who is going to what church and who is doing what, because most of us are just too heavily bound to be any earthly good. Be kind to the person next to you. Be kind to the persons you see. Stop being mean in this one life you have in hopes of being kind in a life that you doesn't even seem real, doesn't seem to even exist, but lives in your mind. Because people are being mean these days in this one life they have, but they got plans to die and go someplace where they are going to live, where there is going to be milk and honey running on the street. They're going to play with lions and all of this. Like seriously, people. Seriously, you be mean to your neighbor now. You be unkind to your coworker now. You be cruel to other human beings now, but you got hopes, great hopes, that after you die, after this biological matter becomes worm food, that's when you're going to live a beautiful life. Come on, people. Brainwashing is a hell of a thing. And we have seen where cultism and brainwashing over the years have led lots of people to their untimely deaths. Having people drink Kool-Aid and all these things, in an effort to say, God chose me and he told me to call you to come and follow him through me. Come on. But anywho, we're going to read. We are going to read the book of Jeremiah. Get your book Bible or your Google Bible and come along with me. Jeremiah chapter 21. The word which came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, when King Zedekiah sent unto him Pashur the son of Melchiah, and Zephaniah the son of Maaseiah the priest, saying, Enquire, I pray thee, of the Lord for us, for Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon makes war against us. If so be that the Lord will deal with us according to all his wondrous works, that he may go up from us. Then said Jeremiah unto them, Thus shall he say to Zedekiah, Thus said the Lord God of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, wherewith ye fight against the king of Babylon and against the Chaldeans, which beseech you without the walls, and I will assemble them into the midst of the city. And I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath. Okay. Verse 6. And I will smite the inhabitants of this city, city, both men and beast. They shall die of a great pestilence. And afterward, said the Lord, I will deliver Zedekiah, king of Judah, and his servants, and the people, and such as are left in this city from the pestilence, from the sword, and from the famine, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those that seek their life. And he shall smite them with the edge of the sword. He shall not spare them, neither have pity, nor have mercy. No, I wonder if you all are listening to this. So, oh my God. The people are looking forth to their God to deliver them out of the hands of the Babylonians, to spare them, to save them, because after all, if they are the chosen people, we expect the person who chose them to deliver them and not allow the enemy to destroy them. Correct? All right. We're not thinking on religious terms. We're thinking on practical terms right now. So they are waiting for their God to deliver them from the Babylonians. But in verse 4, it says, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands. So the same people who are depending on their God to deliver them, their God says to them, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, the weapons with which you fight against the Babylonians and against the Chaldeans, which beseech you, and I will assemble them in the midst of your city, and I myself will fight against you. What? What? Okay. I myself will fight against you. So I myself will fight you like I am a Babylonian. I will be your enemy alongside your enemies and fight you. But at the same time, they are still praying to this person to save them. Oh, now listen and tell me if this sounds practical, or is it just me? Does that sound practical? That not sound practical, people. I mean, no, so someone are gonna say, oh, someone have slave mentality, because now gonna say, oh, it wasn't meant to be practical. You know, the Lord, he has a green light. He has a pass to destroy us at his will. I mean, you know, we deserve the hatred that we get. We deserve all the punishment that we get. Yeah. Now imagine you are praying to someone to say, deliver me, save me from these people. And the person turn to you and say, the same people you want me to save you from, I will join with them and make sure you are destroyed. I'm sure I can't be the only one who is flabbergasted, but I am. But anyway, we're going to continue reading. Verse 7. And afterward, said the Lord, I will deliver Zedekiah, king of Judah, and his servants, and the people, and such as are left in this city from the pestilence, from the sword, and from the famine, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. So after I fight against you, and he has helped the Babylonians to slaughter as many of you as possible, whoever are left, including the king, whoever are left, is going to deliver them into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar so they can be slaves in Babylon. In Babylon. And into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those that seek their life. And he shall smite them with the edge of the sword. He shall not spare them, neither have pity, nor have mercy on them. Verse 8 says, And unto this people thou shalt say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I set before you the way of life and the way of death. He that abides in this city shall die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he that goeth out and falleth to the Chaldeans that beseech you, he shall live, and his life shall be unto him for a prey. For I have set my face against this city for evil, and not for good, saith the Lord. It shall be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire. And touching the house of the king of Judah, say, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Oh, Wangari, a long time I not see you. How you doing? Verse 12 says, O house of David, thus saith the Lord, execute judgment in the morning, and deliver him that is spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, lest my fury go out like fire, and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings. So imagine you have your children disobey you. Children disobey you, and day and night, your punishment not stop. You punish them, you not give them no food, you not give them no clothes, you not send them to school, you put them out a door for sleep, you're just so angry. You are just so angry. Like there seems to be nothing they can do, nothing that child can do to quench your anger, and yet you keep on telling the child say you love him. What kind of mind game is that? You keep on telling the child you love the child, you love the child, you love the child. The child disobey you, but your punishment not stop. It just not stop. There is no end to it. When you leave one punishment, you go to the other. All that child is getting from you is punishment. You don't want to see them face. You don't want to see the pitney face. You don't want the pitney come in front of you. You don't want to have nothing to do. You don't even want somebody else to come in front of you on the child's behalf. You don't want no community member, no neighbor, no teacher, nobody come tell you nothing about the pitney. You just don't want to hear nothing about the pitney. Pitney deserves to die. You yourself will make sure the pitney die. And yet, you want that same child to continue in service to you. Come on. Now you understand why the children of Israel kept running. Wouldn't you run too? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Because me would have run too. Of course, yes, me would have run. Because it just not seem fair. It just not sound normal. It just not sound like something that you would expect from a God. I don't know. Because I was talking to somebody yesterday and she said, what if our idea for God has been distorted by what we were taught, but it might not be true. And I mean, I'm always open to new thoughts because it is from new thoughts where realities are modernized and adjusted, because something that you figure was real, when you figure that it really isn't. It makes you think differently. But then you have to overcome the fact that what you were taught and what you have discovered might be two different things. And it's left up to you to sift through and determine which one you're going to keep and which one you're going to discard. Welcome, guys. Welcome into the live. Joseph, that's you. How are you doing, my love? Good morning to you all. Good morning. I something like the early risers, I love the early risers. Yeah? 4 o'clock in the morning and we are up and running and already running out of time. But anywho, we are going to continue. We are on the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 21 and verse 13 says, Behold, I am against thee. Can I hear that? Behold, I am against thee. No, hold on, let me read verse 12. O house of David, thus saith the Lord, execute judgment in the morning, and deliver him that is spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor. Lest my fury go out like fire, and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings. Behold, I am against thee, O inhabitant of the valley, and rock of the plain, saith the Lord, which say, Who shall come down against us, or who shall enter into our habitations? Verse 14 says, But I will punish you according to the fruit of your doings, saith the Lord, and I will kindle a fire in the forest thereof, and it shall devour all things round about it. Here ends the reading of Jeremiah chapter 21. Welcome into the lives, guys. I sincerely appreciate y'all. Thank you for the likes and the loves. I appreciate y'all, guys. We are going to continue the reading of the book of Jeremiah. Yes, guys. And for those of you here, are we people them from Miami there? I don't see the people them from Miami are roll up in the place. I don't see my fellow Floridians or Miami Heights. That's what them call them, Miami Heights. Miamians. Whoever I don't see y'all rolling up in the place. Yeah. Because tomorrow is Grace Jerk Fest. And yeah, it's not missing us no matter what. Yeah. So no come people. Everybody go support. Go support the Jamaica Jerk Fest tomorrow in Miramar. Okay, guys? Alright, we'll continue reading the Bible. Jerk Fest have to pay me for that public service announcement there, But anywho, let us continue, my dear friends. Let us continue. And follow along with me in your book Bible or your Google Bible. And don't forget that I am not opposed to new ideas. I am not opposed to people, letting their opinions known. And if you have come across any literature at all that you would like to share with me, you are more than welcome to share it with me, because I don't mind reading additional scripts to sort of give me a little more clarity in the confusion that has been provided by the Bible. But anywho, we are going to continue. Jeremiah chapter 22. Thus said the Lord, Go down to the house of the king of Judah and speak there this word, and say, Hear the word of the Lord, O King of Judah, that sits upon the throne of David, thou and thy servants, and thy people that enter in by these gates. Thus saith the Lord, Execute ye judgment and righteousness, and deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, and do no wrong. Do no violence to the stranger, the fatherless, nor the widow, neither shed innocent blood in this place. For if he do this thing indeed, then shall there enter in by the gates of this house kings sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, he and his servants and his people. Verse 5 says, But if he will not hear these words, I swear by myself, saith the Lord, that this house shall become a desolation. So y'all see what I'm talking about. Here, according to Jeremiah, is saying, so the Lord say to the people who are praying to him and begging for his mercy and his grace in delivering them from the Babylonians, and he say, you know what, hear nothing from them, because he's going to fight with the Babylonians against them. He's going to make them get slain by the sword, famine, pestilence, everything. And those who even happen to survive that onslaught, he's going to deliver them into the hands of the Babylonians, because they were disobedient to him. Yet, in the same breath, Jeremiah said, the Lord say, but if they don't hear his words, there's always this if. There's always this threat. So how are you going to threaten me? This is my question. How are you going to threaten me with punishment when you have not even embraced me with, you're not embracing me with good, but you're threatening me with punishment? Is that all I'm worth, to be punished? Where is the embrace of love? Where is the embrace that I should feel considering that you say I am the chosen? It sounds like it's the enemy that is the chosen. It sounds like it's the Babylonians that's the chosen, because these are the people with whom you are going to align yourself against me. Does that sound even right, guys? Can't tell someone or nothing. And I'm not even trying to. That's why I'm reading the Bible out loud, because I want to know for myself. Because for too long, we have been told what's in the Bible and what we should and shouldn't believe. But more than 98% of us don't even spend the time to read it for ourselves, to determine, to read it for ourselves, so that we can determine, we can use our own minds to think about the content and ask ourselves the pertinent questions. We just sit there, allow ourselves to be told, to be led like a lamb to the slaughter. Ooh, no. You understand? Because we don't spend the time to read it for ourselves. But anywho, we are going to continue. We are going to continue with the reading. Follow along with me, guys. We are on to Jeremiah chapter 22. We're going to read verse 3. Thus saith the Lord, execute ye judgment and righteousness, and deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, and do no wrong, do no violence to the stranger, the fatherless, nor the widow, neither shed innocent blood in this place. For if he do this thing indeed, then shall there enter in by the gates of this house kings sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, he and his servants and his people. But if he will not hear these words, I swear by myself, said the Lord, that this house shall become a desolation. For thus said the Lord unto the kings, house of Judah, Thou art Gilead unto me, and the head of Lebanon. Yet surely I will make thee a wilderness, and cities which are not inhabited. Verse 7. And I will prepare destroyers. I will prepare destroyers against you, every one with his weapons, and they shall cut down thy choice cedars and cast them into the fire. And many nations shall pass by this city, and they shall say every man to his neighbor, Wherefore hath the Lord done thus unto this city? Then they shall answer, Because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord their God, and worshipped other gods, and served them. You hear what is the answer all the time? The people serve other gods. The people forsake the covenant. But hold on, people. Hold on there. Didn't Jeremiah say the Lord told him that he did not tell the forefathers, he did not give the forefathers those covenants? Ain't that what Jeremiah had said? Joe, what's up? That God told him that the priests and prophets had told lies and called his name, saying that he told them stuff to tell the people when it wasn't so. So, how comes if God did not tell the forefathers these things, how come the people are being punished for not obeying these things? Don't tell me if that make any sense. Y'all tell me if that make any sense. That don't make no sense. Jeremiah said God told him that he did not tell the forefathers of the children of Israel. Didn't give them all these covenants about making sacrifice for sin and all of these things. That he didn't tell them so. So if he didn't tell them so, how come the people are being punished for the same thing? Wanna talk to me? Oh, that God rolling up in the place because you wake up early. Good that you woke up early, sis. Talk to me. You understand? We're going to continue the reading though, people. We're going to continue the reading. We are on to verse 10 of chapter 22. Weep ye not for the dead, neither bemoan him, but weep sore for him that goes away, for he shall return no more, nor see his native country. For thus saith the Lord, touching Shallum, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, which reigned instead of Josiah his father, which went forth out of this place, he shall not return thither any more. God, was it that Josiah left? Or was Josiah slain. Wasn't the father slain? I believe he was, not just left. Here Jeremiah is saying he went forth out of this place as though he just walked out. Verse 12 says, "But he shall die in the place whither they have led him captive, and shall see this land no more. Woe unto him that builds his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. That saith, I will build me a wide house and large chambers, and cuts him out windows, and it is sealed with cedar, and painted with vermilion. Shalt thou reign because thou closest thyself in cedar? Did not thy father eat and drink, and do judgment and justice? And then it was well with him. He judged the cause of the poor and needy. Then it was well with him. Was not this to know me, saith the Lord? But thine eyes and thy heart are not but for thy covetousness, and for the shedding of innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence to do it. Therefore, thus saith the Lord concerning Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, they shall not lament for him, saying, Ha, my brother, or Ha, my sister. They shall not lament for him, saying, Oh Lord, or Oh his glory. He shall be buried with the burial of an ass. Want to hear that? He shall be buried just like how you bury one donkey, drawn and cast forth beyond the gates of Jerusalem. Yeah? Go up to Lebanon and cry, and lift up thy voice in Bashan, and cry from the passages, for all thy lovers are destroyed. I spake unto thee in thy prosperity, but thou saidst, I will not hear. This hath been thy manner from thy youth, that thou obeyest not my voice. The wind shall eat up all thy pastors, and thy lovers shall go into captivity. Surely then shalt thou be ashamed and confounded for all thy wickedness. O inhabitant of Lebanon, that makes thy nest in the cedars, how gracious shalt thou be when pangs come upon thee, the pain of a woman in travail. As I live, said the Lord, though Coniah the son of Joachim, king of Judah, were the signet upon my right hand, yet would I pluck thee thence, and I will give thee into the hand of them that seek thy life. Now hear that again. I will give you into the hand of the people who seek your life. But at the same time, they are praying. The same person to whom they are praying for deliverance is the same person who is promising them that he will deliver them into the hands of the enemy. Verse 25, and I will give thee into the hand of them that seek thy life, and into the hand of them whose face thou fearest, even into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. And I will cast thee out, and thy mother that bare thee, into another country, where he were not born, and there shall he die. But to the land whereunto they desire to return, thither shall they not return. And I hear that. You all hear that, right? Let me read it again in case you missed it. Verse 26 of Jeremiah chapter 22 says, "And I will cast thee out, and thy mother that bare thee, into another country where he were not born, and there shall he die. But to the land whereunto they desire to return, thither shall they not return." Is this man Coniah a displeased people, Is this man Coniah despised broken idol? Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not? O earth, 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 hear the word of the Lord. Verse 30, and this is the last verse. This is the last verse of chapter 22. Thus saith the Lord, write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days. For no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David and ruling any more in Judah. Here ends the reading of Jeremiah chapter 22. We are going to move right along to Jeremiah chapter 23. So come on, people, now read with me. Jeremiah chapter 23. Jeremiah chapter 23 is kind of long. It goes all the way to 40 verses. It goes all the way to 40 verses. But nonetheless, we are going to read it anyway. So follow with me in your book Bible or your Google Bible, guys. Jeremiah chapter 23 says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. He have scattered my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. I got a little question here. It says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. I remember it seems as though the Bible uses the word pastor interchangeably with pasture, because in the earlier reading, I didn't think about noting it then because I didn't think that it was an issue. But here they have used the word pastor, pastor, and pasture sort of interchangeably. So I'm going to assume that that's probably a typo. Yeah, that's probably a typo. So we are going to continue, because I had made a note of it. So now I'd have to go search for it. I'll find it and we will talk about it some other time. But let's read chapter 23. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastures that feed my people. He have scattered my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In this day, in his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely, and this is his name, whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. Verse 7 says, Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, The Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up, and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. So what's the point of driving them out in the first place? If that is the land for them, why were they driven out in the first place? Remember in chapter 20, in chapter 21, it said they shall be driven out of this place where they were born and go into a country where they were not born and die there. Like, what is the accomplishment of that? Why that kind of degradation, that kind of punishment? It's as though the punishments are just literal and they're not, if you get what I'm saying. Physical, emotional, spiritual, it's like the punishments know no end. Because if I'm going to allow the enemy, I'm going to allow them to smite you. I'm going to allow famine to take you. I'm going to allow pestilence to come upon you. I'm going to allow you to be taken captive. I'm going to allow you to run away, make you run away from the land of your birth. Run away from the place you have ever known. The only place you have ever known and called home. I'm going to make you run away from it and go to a strange land where people don't know you, where people will treat you with indifference because you are different and they don't know you. And then I'm going to bring you back. Yeah? I'm going to make you... Oh, geez. Oh, the mackerel. What's the point? I'm even going to allow the enemy to cut down your prized cedar trees and throw them in the fire. Like, it's like, I just want to punish you so badly. And then I want you to continue to serve me. It's like me asking you to give me more punishment. But anyway, we are going to continue the reading. Verse 7 says, Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, The Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Y'all hear that? We're going to read it again. Verse 7 of chapter 23 of the book of Jeremiah. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, The Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Now, this is a prophecy that the children of Israel are going. Wouldn't you, people? Now, let us talk. Let us reason. Let us reason. With all that we have read so far, and all that the God of Israel, according to the Bible here, has done to them, would you be surprised that they were going to say he's no more? Them not believe in him anymore? Would you be surprised? Look at all the promises and the judgments. Look at how they go to him for deliverance. And the Bible says, and me, don't go and say, Auntie Trev say this, that, the other, and the third. I say what the Bible say. And since everybody agrees with what the Bible say, don't come at me. And the Bible say it. I'm just repeating it. Okay? If he says to you, when you go to him, crying and begging for help and begging for mercy, and he says to you, listen, I am going to align myself with the enemy against you, and we are going to destroy you, and anything that is left is going to be sent off to Babylon, is going to be destroyed by the sword, is going to... Would you be surprised that the people eventually turn their backs? Would you be surprised? I certainly wouldn't be surprised that the people turn their backs. So here in chapter 23 and verse 7, he says, therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Yeah? They are no longer going to say brought them out of the land of Egypt. Now they are going to say brought them back from the north country and reestablished their society in the land that they were supposedly given. Let us go on to chapter 9. This is exhausting, my friends. My heart within me is broken. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because of the Lord, and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of adulterers, for because of swearing the land mourns. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right. For both prophet and priest are profane. Yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, said the Lord. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein, for I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, said the Lord. I don't know why there seems to be more evil being distributed among the people than good. I'm wondering too. Yeah. Why every other verse is evil he's visiting on the people? Every other verse is evil. Evil I'm visiting on you. I have heard more evil being visited on the people than I've heard embraces of love. And me said, it is written. Verse 13 said, and I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesied in Baal and caused my people Israel to err. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem a horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doth return home, that none doth return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts concerning the prophets, Behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land. So more punishment for them. Them a commit adultery and all these things, living like Sodom and Gomorrah. So more punishment. Me say them a people, them a people here, brother. It look like them love punishment. God no. It look like them love punishment for true. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets. Verse 16 says, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of the Lord. They say still unto them that despise me, the Lord hath said, he shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walks after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. For who hath stood in the counsel of the Lord, and hath perceived and heard his word? Who hath marked his word and heard it? That's my question too. Who hath heard the words of the Lord? Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days he shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets. Wanna listen, you know? Listen. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they, verse 22, but if they had stood in my counsel, and hath caused my people to hear my words, then they would have turned them from their evil way, and from the evil of their doings. Am I a God at hand, saith the Lord, and not a God afar off? That's a good question. God says, am I a God at hand? Am I a God right here? Am I a God in close proximity to the people? Or am I not a God far off, afar off? You all determine that. Is he a God that is far away living in the heavens? Or is he a God that is close by the people? I can't answer that question. But everybody can answer it for themselves based on their heart's imagination. Because here in chapter 23 and verse 17, he say, everyone that walks after the imagination of his own heart. So you all can walk after the imagination of your own heart and determine whether God is close by you or he is a God that is far away. You make that determination. Verse 23. Am I a God at hand, said the Lord, and not a God afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places, that I shall not see him, saith the Lord? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord? I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed this, and I have dreamed that. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart. Me Jesus. Wanna see how me did say that? Wanna see how me did say that before? And I hadn't yet read that. It seemed like these prophets were lying, you know. I had not yet read it. I just, everything didn't seem to be in order. Everything seemed so discombobulated. Everybody is saying something different, and there was all this confusion being said to the people that I said, clearly somebody is lying. Clearly somebody is lying, because these things can't be true. And it can't be that the Bible that we say is supposed to be the book of truth, that there is so much controversy. But here in Jeremiah, all who did say me no know me I talk about and me I go blaspheme. Wanna see it here, right here in Jeremiah, right here. In Jeremiah chapter 23. It says, this is the Lord speaking, you know. And he said the prophets have prophesied lies in his name. No wonder the story them couldn't come straight. No wonder the stories weren't going straight. Everybody is trying to run up with the imagination of his own heart. Everybody said them dream this and them dream that. And God tell them this and God tell them that. And they are, God chose them. God tell them something when them a little picnic. God tell them something when them in the wilderness, when them, God, yes. And the math was just not mathing, guys. And I said, this not seem right. It not seem right at all. But here in Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 25, I have heard what the prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamt this and I have dreamt that. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. The prophet that hath a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that hath my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is what is the chaff to the wheat, saith the Lord? Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am again the prophets, saith the Lord, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am again the prophet. I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that use their tongues and say, he said. Because you see the same thing that I had said, when they come with all this imaginary stuff and they want the people to believe it, then say God send them and God tell them this in a dream and God tell them this, that, the other and the third, and everybody is coming with their own version of what God tell them and what the Lord told them, and the poor people them confused. No wonder the people are gone to go serve one statue. Of course, yes. And now to hear that the same God who they said told them this and told them that and came to them in a dream and this, that, the other, and the third, this same God say, I lie the whole of them did I tell. They're all liars. They're all telling lies and using my name to justify it. Honestly, how me feel vindicated, because when me say it seem like a lot of people me that tell when we were reading in earlier books of the Bible, I must say yes, man. All of this a story cannot be true. Lies are being told. People them say me a blaspheme. Then say the word of God. And me tell them something, people. The people them say the word of God. And who am I if you say the prophet them a tell lie? All because I'm using my brain and trying to decipher what I am reading and the context of it to see if it make any sense to me. And the math wasn't mathing at all. Elijah said God come to him. Elisha said God come to him. Nehemiah see God. Jeremiah see God. Moses see God. David see God. Everybody, God tell them what to do and tell them what is what. Then dream. Then meet God. Then stand up, them talk to him, all these things. But all of the story them different. And in a Ninja Man voice, me have to say something, all right, yeah, so? But anywho, we have to continue reading. Verse 30 of Jeremiah chapter 23. Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that use their tongues and say, He said. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith the Lord. And when this people, or the prophet, or a priest, shall ask thee, saying, What is the burden of the Lord? Thou shalt then say unto them, What burden? I will even forsake you, saith the Lord. And as for the prophets, and the priests, and the people that shall say, The burden of the Lord, I will even punish that man and his house. Thus shall he say every one to his neighbor, and every one to his brother, What hath the Lord answered? And what hath the Lord spoken? And the burden of the Lord shall be mentioned no more. And the burden... Andre! Chef Andre, a long time I not see you now. What's going on? How are you doing, my love? Good to see you as always. It's always a pleasure, my love. Thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Verse 36 says, And the burden of the Lord shall he mention no more, for every man's word shall be his burden. For he have perverted the words of the living God and the Lord of hosts, our God. Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, What hath the Lord answered thee? And what hath the Lord spoken? But since ye say, The burden of the Lord, therefore thus saith the Lord, Because he say this word, the burden of the Lord, and I have sent unto you, saying, he shall not say the burden of the Lord. Verse 39, therefore, behold, I, even I, will utterly forget you, and I will forsake you, and the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. Verse 40, and this, my friends, is the last verse, of chapter 23 of the book of Jeremiah. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame, which shall not be forgotten. Here ends the reading of Jeremiah chapter 23. My God, this morning's reading was almost like none other. I tell you, my friends, when people say, if you want to hide something from people, I'm just going to say people, because you all know which people had said that if you want to hide something from a certain demographic of people, you have to put it in a book. We're not going to spell it out here, but y'all know what I'm talking about, correct? Okay. We all make it seem like it's true. When we do not spend the time to pick up this book and read it ourselves and try to understand it for ourselves, we make this stereotype seem true. That if they want to hide something from us, they got to put it in a book. Because they know we're not going to read it. We're going to allow ourselves to be led. And like a sheep to the slaughter, we're going to allow ourselves to be led and led and led, never once stopping to smell the coffee, never once stopping to admire the roses, or to even wonder why there are thorns among roses. We are just going to follow and follow and follow. We need to cut that out. Don't just be following blindly. Read for yourself and ask yourself the question. I know a lot of people are very protective of their religion. They're very protective of their church, their denomination, their belief. They're very protective of the Bible. They say everything in the Bible is true, Trev, and the things in the Bible were written by men, inspired by God. I'm tired of tell them, say nothing no go so. But they still want to believe it. He who want to believe can continue to believe. The Bible says, no, follow one imaginary heart. The imagination of your heart. You understand? That's what follow it. Read it for yourselves. Don't say Auntie Trev say it, because it's from the Bible. Me get it. The same book we want to say everything in it is true. So if everything in the Bible is true, when I repeat what the Bible say, don't tell me say lie me I tell. Don't tell me say I'm blaspheming. Don't even come in front of me and tell me about me I go to hell. There's no place like that. Read for yourself. Even in the Bible it say, Jeremiah, it say, the Lord said the people them come prophesy lies in his name. Them say them dream this and them dream that. Them say him tell them this and him tell them that. And he ain't never encountered these people. He never seen these people a day in their lives. And I mean say it. Go read the book of Jeremiah for yourself and go have yourself a good day. Guys, I want to say thanks to everybody who came into the live. I sincerely appreciate you guys. OMG. OMG. When my thoughts run ahead of me. When my thoughts run ahead of me and I speak it out loud, and then I get people who chastise me, I take it with a grain of salt or two. But then when the same book that they chastise me over comes back and vindicate me, it feel good. But it does feel good, guys, to be vindicated by the same book that is you to condemn me. OMG, my dear friends. Thanks to everybody who came into the live. I sincerely appreciate you. Card and Winsome and Joseph, Chef Davy, and everybody else, those who commented, those who followed the host. Be sure to know that if you follow the host, I will definitely be coming back to your channel. Thank you all so much, my friends. I can't thank you all enough for sticking with me. And those of you who have been here since I started reading the Bible, like what, 2 years ago? Yeah, about 2 years now. Yeah, about 2 years since we started reading the Bible. And I made a pledge. I said, I'm going to read this Bible out loud from Genesis to Revelation because I want to know exactly what is in the Bible, and I don't want to keep all this information to myself. I want to share it. I want to share it with the rest of the world. And so I want to say thanks to everybody who came in and joined me. There are some people who have been here from the beginning, people who don't miss not one reading. I sincerely appreciate you. And I invite conversation, guys. I love conversation. I love to talk. I don't do disrespectful talk, but I love to share ideas and information and, discuss the readings, because everybody might have their own interpretation of what we have read. And so if I interpreted it one way and you interpreted another, we can always meet across the aisle of brotherhood and talk about it. Okay? So that's going to be it from me for this morning, my friends. Once again, thanks to you all. I look forward to seeing you all here again tomorrow morning before we go a Jerk Fest. Before we go a Jamaica Jerk Fest in Miramar tomorrow, we are going to be doing the Bible reading, and then we are going to go a Jerk Fest. Go turn it up now. Hey! I don't even know who is performing tomorrow. Lord have mercy. I don't even know who is performing. Anybody here know who might perform at Jerk Fest? Anyway, so Missy then sent me one message on Instagram last night and I didn't even go check it out. I gotta go check it out when I get off this live. Go check and see what Jerkfest saying over there on Instagram. Because I don't know which artists are going to perform. Me know say it's not going to be Bujuka. Buju can't come back America. Me don't know who it's going to be. Yeah. Them always have nice people there though. Like people like what a guy the name usually perform sometimes. Sometimes them have, I've seen like Blacker and them there before. Johnny from Lime Tree Lane usually do some little stuff there too. And as far as the singers, like there'll be no more Freddie. I always enjoyed Freddie there, and Marcia Griffiths and others. They have, I don't know what the lineup is going to be, but whatever it is going to be, I'm going to be there. The first one through the gate at 1 o'clock shall be Trev from Trevescence. Hey, people. Yes. So, guys, yeah, that's where we're going to be tomorrow. And that's going to be it from me for now, my friends. I will see you all another day, tomorrow morning, and maybe later. All right? So go ahead and have yourselves a great day. And don't forget, guys, to trot on because your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, everybody. May I wait pan the top to send me the something where say, oh, you have done great. You have been here for 90 minutes. I'm gonna see it pop up yet. I'm waiting for it to pop up. Until it pop up, I am still here. All right, guys. Good day. See you all later.